Joining us now on the MARR Army Rock Show, we are excited to have Daniel with us. He is from Austrian band Psycho Village. They've got a brand new album just fresh out this week. It's called Unstoppable. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, hey, where are you calling me? Are you home? Are you in Austria right now? Where are you calling me from tonight?
I'm in my house in Vienna right now.
So, hey, man, I hope you're doing well out there. The world's a crazy place right now, so it's good to be able to talk to you. Hey, give me a little bit of the history of the band. How long you guys been around, and tell us the story of how you guys formed.
Right, the band has been around since 2009 now at this point. We just started back when I was 15 out of, music school ensembles, and a couple of years down the road we started writing original music. And in 2013 we started working with a producer called Glenn Helderman, who's worked with a lot of big names back then, and produced and recorded the first single, which actually went on to become quite a bit of a success in Austria. That song went to the top 10 on iTunes back then, and top 40 on the Austrian single and radio charts. And then we recorded and released our first ever EP back in 2014. Toured that for 2 years, and then started getting more international tours. And then between 2016, 2017, and basically up until the release of Unstoppable, toured with lots of big American bands like Puddle of Mud, Saving Abel, Nothing More, 10 Years. So we were lucky to tour with a lot of bands that we've looked up to for years and years. And then during the tour with Saving Abel, Saving Abel's bass player actually hooked us up with the label that we finally signed with last year, and they helped us get the album Unstoppable out now. And obviously today is the release day in the United States, which we're very excited about. It's been out for 6 months in Europe now, and we've played just under 90 shows in Europe supporting that record, so we can't wait to spread the message in the United States.
Yeah, we're so glad to catch you. What great timing getting it coming out today for this conversation. Now, it's been a little bit since your last album. I guess it's talk a little bit about the journey in between the last full length and this one. What's it been like?
Right. So we've released Self-Made Fairy Tale back in 2014. Then just started touring and toured that just in Austria, and had 2 very successful radio songs on that record, and then kind of re-released it all over Europe in early 2016, and we're just touring in Germany mostly for another year, and then we just started getting touring offers, as I mentioned, and the first big international tour we did was with Nothing More, and then kind of just got tour after tour after tour, and never stopped until basically now, to be honest with you. And during that we just started writing and recording new music, and it just took a while to find the right time spot to actually release it properly in between those tours that we've done, because actually I think that the longest break we've had within the past 3.5 years was maybe 7 or 8 weeks. I think that was the longest break we've had within those past years. And yeah, we just were waiting for the right time to release the record, and get the right team.
So I had a chance to really get to listen to the full record today, and one tune that I thought was really interesting title, and it was right in the middle of the record. Tell me about Fox Rain. What is that song about?
Fox Rain. Fox Rain actually is kind of like a mashup of 2 different stories. One is kind of like a breakup, and just kind of like a breakup story about a relationship that's not really meant to be, and you're kind of stuck in it, and you can't really escape it because you still want to be with that person, but at the same time it's just poison to you and your personal health and your well-being. And then another story that's inspired that song is we were on tour with a band called The Creep Show from Canada back in 2017, and that's where that title comes from. We were that was the first ever show of our first ever bigger tour supporting a bigger band in northern Germany. That's the first show we were going to play, and we eventually never talked to that band before. It was just contact through management, and their singer messaged us on Instagram and were like, "Hey guys, looking forward to the first show today. If we make it," and we're like, "What's that supposed to mean?" Turns out their tour bus was broken down, and we were in the mindset, all right, we're gonna save the day. We're gonna drive up there because we were 1 hour south of where the show was gonna be, and they were 1 hour north. So we were like, all right, we'll drive up 2 hours, pick them up, get them and the gear to the show. We'll save the day, and we'll have the best tour ever because we saved them, and we're gonna be friends forever. Long story short, that didn't work out too well. We had like 3 or 4 bus breakdowns on the way to the show, even though it was just 1 hour technically. And we lost the hub, the cover of our engine off the tour bus, because you can take it off. And it took us like 17 or 18 hours driving up, playing the show, driving back, searching for that cover of the engine. I think you call it the hub. And the village or the rest station where we eventually found it and where we left it the day before was called Foxrein, and Foxrein is kind of like the imaginary place that sounded a bit more international and more, more cool than the actual name. So that's kind of what the title and the story of that song are about.
I would have never guessed that story behind the title.
No, it's an inside joke, and I don't think I've told that story on an interview before. So now you know.
So, hey, man, also very timely today. Unstoppable is about as fresh out as fresh gets when it comes to music videos. Tell us a little bit about the music video.
Right. I think literally 4 hours and 7 minutes ago.
Yep.
Looking at the clock. That's been a long time coming too. We've originally filmed most of the video back in June last year. Like the performance scene and part of the acting and storyline scenes, and we just, because the record Unstoppable was released in Europe and the UK back in late September, so we just started promotion in September and touring non-stop until 4 weeks ago. So we had to film the remaining parts that had to be shot of the video through our tours. So the video eventually was shot all over Austria, Germany, the UK, Ireland. I think we even filmed parts of it in the Netherlands and tried to make it this piece of art and piece of the story that partially represents one of the many stories that the album Unstoppable is talking about and represents. Yeah, we finally have it out. We literally filmed the last scene in Vienna, I think 1.5 weeks ago, and then I just spent the last week editing it. And yeah, now it's out today, and I'm very excited about it because I think it's one of the best videos that we've done to date, and that I personally have done, because I'm usually doing all the music videos. I'm very proud of it.
Job well done on the video. For folks that haven't seen it yet, it's got a powerful message, I think, embedded in there, so please check it out. Now, I know that it looks like on your Facebook page you're still offering signed copies of the CD. Tell us how people can get a hold of that.
We still have, we live in 2 different countries. I live in Austria, and then the other 2 guys are living in Germany, but luckily we still have some signed copies of the album from touring. And yeah, just hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, or just send us an email. We can find all those informations online and on our webpage and so on, and just shoot us a message, and we'll let you know how you can get the album, and just have to check how much shipping is. But yeah, we can get those albums to you if you want to have one.
Now, I think every band's got a coronavirus story about where they were and how this all got shut down. So what were you guys doing? I'm assuming from what you told me, you were probably on tour when this whole thing hit. How's things been going for you guys? Did you have to bail on a tour?
Yeah, we were on tour, man. We started touring the day before the album came out, which was before the album came out in Europe. So we've been on just under 90 shows on this album cycle, and we were on a 52 show run with the Calling from the US, and we were in Dublin, Ireland, when we got word that we couldn't continue to tour and had to cancel the remaining shows. And out of those 52 shows, which by the way was very exciting for us because that was the longest Europe-UK tour of 2020 in Europe and the UK. And I guess now with Corona, it's probably no other tour is going to beat it because that was just under 3 months long. And luckily we made it to show number 46, I think, and then the last 5 to 6 shows had to be cancelled. But we're working on getting back to those cities and hopefully can reschedule it. And then, basically the first 1 to 1.5 weeks we spent 2 days in Ireland trying to figure out how to get our gear back. Because another obstacle we had to go through was we were touring in like a proper double-decker tour bus with the Calling. And the RV tour bus that Will usually drives in when we're headlining shows or just, on smaller runs. We parked that at the bus company in north of Germany. So we had to get all our gear back not to Vienna, but to the bus company to load it into our van or RV, try to find flights back there, and then drive 9 or 10 hours back home to Vienna. So it took us a good 1 to 1.5 weeks to schedule that and actually drive it. And then we came back home and we're just stuck in the middle of a worldwide pandemic and quarantine.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this, man. Sounds like your home country, Austria, they've getting a lot of national attention for, as well as one can weather. It sounds like you guys have done a nice job over there weathering it as a country.
I feel like, we don't have too many cases. Luckily, compared to many other countries, we don't have too many deaths. I think we're just under 500 at this point. Which is obviously awful, but still way better than a lot of other countries. And being neighbors to Italy and being right next to the Italian border, of course, we witnessed firsthand what happened there. So, Austrian government started doing a lot of, regulations and started to shut down very early compared to a lot of other countries. So I think that saved a lot of lives and a lot of bad things from happening. And we're slowly trying to get back to normal. I think most stores and hairdressers and that sort of stuff open during May. But they also announced that there won't be any events or bigger events, whatever bigger events are, but any bigger events until the end of August. So
a lot of the world same.
Theaters and that sort of stuff earliest open in September. So let's see what the touring thing looks like. But not much going on for the next couple of months.
A lot of the world in that same boat. Hey, one last thing before I let you go here. So I was watching that little tour bus tour video you did, and just casually on your Facebook page, you mentioned this was the one bus that didn't catch fire. Were you being serious about a fire in a bus? Have you had that happen?
We had, when touring, before we play the song Unstoppable, I always tell 1 or 2 little tour stories because that's kind of what the whole album represents. It's about digging through, about keeping going, even though there are many obstacles in your way and many letdowns. And one of those stories is that I tell a lot of bus stories because we have many bus issues. We've been robbed by our bus driver. We've had a big car accident. We were touring with Puddle of Mud last year, and a car crashed into us and turned the trailer over while we were on the German highway, driving very fast, and the roof broke open, all the gear spread on the highway, and the whole highway had to be closed for 1 hour. And one of those many stories is that our bus actually was on fire, I think, twice in the UK when we toured with Saving Able. Nothing major happened, but, we almost missed a show. But even though we had all those issues and many bus issues, and even on that tour with the Calling and that very bus, we had 2 trailers where a wheel fell off and an axis broke and the window cracked. But that very bus was not on fire. But that was the second bus we had on this tour. We had to swap buses.
Oh, gosh. Well, you guys be careful out there, man. We lost a good friend, David Z, from Adrenaline Mob about a year or 2 ago. And a similar thing, man. That's a risky little part of your guys' business. A lot of people don't realize is traveling so much. But so be careful.
You're driving lots and lots of miles, and a lot can happen when driving that many miles and that far that far distances.
Well, hey, on a much happier note, I'm happy to let the world know Unstoppable is out right now. They are Psycho Village from Austria. We've been talking with Daniel, their vocalist and guitarist. And Daniel, man, be careful out there. And congratulations on the release. The video for Unstoppable's out right now on all the digital outlets. You can pick up the record as well. So, Daniel, thanks for being here today with us.
Cheers, man. Thanks for having me.